listen to the Mike podcast. This is your boy, Mike A16 on Twitter. Hit me up, my main man.
I am UNKC on Twitter. We're trying to practice this social distancing deal. It's really cramping our style, but we still wanted to bring y'all a podcast today. So, what it do?
Not another day.
Absolutely. We actually got a good amount of voicemail, and we got a text too. So, the intern's getting all that together. But we are, like I said, this show was a little bit different because of the situation, because of the social distancing with the coronavirus. And we want to make sure everybody listens and knows that they need to be safe above all during this time, because not only can you get infected, your loved ones can get infected. And that's basically the whole reason we're doing this the way we're doing it, which stinks, but it is what it is.
Alden Smith got signed by the Cowboys. 1 year there, $4 million.
Yeah, Alden Smith the Mizzou star.
That's a good pickup for the Cowboys, actually.
Actually, absolutely.
If he could be 1/4 of what he was when he was in the league,
because he was amazing.
He was going to have a Hall of Fame career if it wasn't for the alcohol problem that he had. He could have been.
I agree.
He could have been one of the all-time greats, but line him up over there on the other side of Lawrence, and you got McCoy and Poe in the middle.
You're right.
And if, like I said, if Alden Smith can just stay 1/4 of what he was, that'd be a dangerous duo on the edges.
I completely agree. I wish I liked Alden Smith. I really used to love watching him. Mizzou's on, like I said, because I'm a Mizzou fan. And you sit here and you look at all the missteps that took his life into a different place. And now we see him come back. I think he's been gone 3 years. I want to say 3 years.
Yes.
But one thing we must say is that this is all pending reinstatement, because he hasn't been reinstated by Roger Goodell to this point, as far as I know. So it's pending reinstatement. But if he gets reinstated, he's with the Cowboys, and that you are correct. To me, that's a great pickup. 1 year, it's a 1 year deal, and I think Jay Glazer was the one that originally broke that news. In other news, Kansas City brought back Sammy Watkins on a 1 year deal.
That $9 million is like $50 million here in Kansas City.
I agree, but he was due to get, I want to say 16 mil. I think he was due to get 16 or 17, maybe even 18. I hadn't looked up. That news broke this morning.
But I know
so I hadn't looked up the whole contract.
But I know that he got incentives in there to get it back to 16 million.
Correct. The move, according to, I think I saw it on, according to Adam Schefter, the move creates $5 million in cap space. So they get $5 million out of it. Brett Veach is really nickel and diming this cap thing. Really nickel and diming it. And I don't understand why. But
it's
hey,
a masterpiece.
Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
He's nickel and diming it until next year when he has to sign Mahomes. He didn't have to sign Mahomes this year. Even though he could have, he didn't. He's not. He's going to wait till next year when he has to.
Absolutely. And next year they don't have to. They can just franchise tag him. but it's more likely that they will sign him next year because the CBA is done and they'll have more money to play around with next season. So yeah, they this is the right move.
And you can also negotiate Mahomes' contract next year during the season as well, where you don't have to franchise him. So
Correct. So that's your sideline news. You got any other sideline news?
hold on real quick. So if I'm gonna be like this, if I'm Mahomes, if you don't reach no deal with me during the season, like I already told my agent what I want. If I'm Mahomes, I'm just gonna play football, and my agent and Veach can talk about it all year long. But if you franchise tag me, I'm making the price for you go up if you're gonna sit there and play hardball
Yeah,
and you already know what I'm worth to the
of course,
franchise.
of course you would. And I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen unless they give him like a plan. Like here we go. Let me throw this at you. Um, let's say because what it looks like is they're gonna try to run it back, right? That's what it seems like. And let's say they win the championship this year. What if Mahomes just accepts the franchise tag and then they go try to run it back again for a third time with even more money to spend because they're not doing Mahomes' deal with a what do they call it? An agreement in place that they will do the deal no matter what.
Well, here's the thing: you play the most violent sport. I'm not wishing no injury on Mahomes or nothing, but you can get injured.
I agree
Will
with that.
that drive your price down? Do you really want to pay an over injured
I
person? And listen, Chiefs Kingdom, I'm not wishing no injury on nothing. But if you look at
I
the,
don't believe you. I don't think the Kingdom believes you trying to do that. So
you got some part of the kingdom that's like, I ain't going that route right now with y'all. but but you see what I'm saying.
I get it.
So on that note,
And, but believe me, I don't believe that they're pushing this too far down. I think they're just going to run it back with the team they have right now, and in order to do that, they're going to try to run it back with the team that they trying to keep together.
I'm talking about
And in order to do,
you can run it back now.
and in order to
And
do that, in order,
why you running it back
yeah,
this year, yo, Mahomes' agent and Veach can be running that contract. That you already know what Mahomes.
right,
We all know he gonna get 200 million. It's just the
or more,
huh?
or more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gonna be 200 million or plus. So you already know his numbers. I'm Mahomes. I'm just worried about football. I don't care about the numbers right now because that's none of my business. My agent already know what I want. So
Yep.
Veach need to go ahead figure out how you're gonna get it. And before we go to the next subject, right quick, at the end of this podcast episode, we're gonna play the voicemails. I haven't heard it, so when y'all hear the mic gonna hear it for the first time ever as well. Uh, we gotta read the text towards.
It's just like I said. This is different because of this coronavirus. So we're going to try to work through that for right now. We'll end up doing this later. We'll find a different route next time. But right now, this is the situation. So
And you gotta read the text message towards the end. But let me go off this. The NFL season is allegedly starting on time, and
allegedly,
and they're very adamant that they are. Is they rushing this thing or what?
my thing is this. The season, they didn't say anything about the preseason because I don't think that has anything to do with it. But if it does, that starts in August. That's far enough down the line, I think. in order for them to try to be able to go an alternate route. If the games can't be played in a full stadium, empty stadium, or whatever, they can make the plans now. We're in April. August is 4 months away, so they got enough people, enough resources, enough time to figure out a different route that they need to take. I don't know how that'll affect the players, banging up against each other and sweaty and all that stuff, breathing on each other. That sounds weird, but whatever. That's the case.
Will
Um, they
question.
go ahead.
Will
Yep.
they have a fanless game?
I think they might have it at first. Yeah, I think they might have one. Yeah, I do believe that'll happen eventually.
Because they ain't gonna try to mess up that TV money they got.
No, I don't think so. And
Them is
I just think
billions.
that, yeah, I believe that they'll try it and see. I think they might even be the first organization to try it. I know baseball might, but I think the NFL might be the first one.
If they do that, I I think they should put microphones on the field, not the stadium microphones, but the TV microphones where the audience can hear what's in the trenches. I'm just saying,
Mic up everybody.
I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
you have to, uh, in my opinion, I think you have to try to connect with the fans and do a different route with the fans to keep them engaged in a fanless game. Because sometimes you like to hear the crowd roar. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I was actually watching I want to say the Titans game where he broke that run, where Mahomes broke that run for the touchdown, and just hearing the crowd noise there, it made I heard three different levels of crowd noise, and that was amazing to look back on. We're all looking at these games now, and you hear how much the crowd is involved. Hearing no crowd is going to be kind of interesting. You know what I mean? So I think they have to figure out a way to get past that part of it. So I agree with
Uh, I had something else to ask you. Expansion of the playoffs. How do you feel about that?
you. Yes, sir. Um,
They're expanding one team per conference, right?
correct.
Okay.
So it's going basically there were 12 teams before. Now it's 14. One per conference. So one for the AFC, one for the NFC. That means the Steelers will get in.
Them bums ain't getting there.
That's messed up. Boy,
And
that's
since you
messed
brought
up.
up the
That is so
Steelers,
messed up. Hey. I'm not taking shots at nobody. I'm just saying.
hey, since you brought up the Steelers, Benji,
Oh boy.
he's still a Steeler. Benji, he's not even worth to be called Ben.
Uh-huh.
But Benji,
Wow.
still a Steeler,
Dang.
is the Steelers doing what the Chargers did to Rivers, like holding him too long.
Yes, absolutely. Like
3 years ago, 4 years ago, should have been gone.
you'll hear what the R thinks about it when we do the when I actually uh when we post this thing. But um I believe that. I think that they're definitely holding him too long, trying to figure out all this stuff. And I think that they are crazy for doing it. I know he gives them the best time to win right now, but I think they're holding on to him too long. Philip Rivers should have been gone 2 years ago. Maybe if you wanted to hold on to him a little bit longer, maybe last year he should have been gone. But I know they wanted to run it back because they had that good season and they were challenging the Chiefs for the AFC West, so they thought they could run it back. Forget all that. If you were, we just look at the game, right? Me and you, we just look at the game. And if we could see Phillip Rivers was going down, the people who evaluate him critically should see that his production as well as his arm looks like it's going down. If we could see that, they ought to be able to see that.
But a lot of
Ben's arm might not be down, but he only has a certain amount of time in this league. You might as well bring the future now. Maybe not today, but tomorrow, as in next season. I I mean, come on now. You could have been moving towards the future here, but of course, they can't do it now because they got that first round pick given away to Miami for Minka Fitzpatrick last season. But next year, I think they should be looking for a quarterback.
I think they should look for one this year. If you got a decent one still available in the draft, or if Miami do go up and get Joe Burrow, you're not gonna keep that boy. What's his name? Josh. I want to say Josh Allen, but it's not. Josh Rosen. Jeff Rosen, whatever his name is.
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, Jeff Rosen is that sports guy. But yeah, Josh Rosen.
He's an analyst.
If you can get Josh Rosen, because most likely if Miami do move up and take Joe Burrow like they planning on trying to do, you can get Josh Rosen and train him for a year behind Ben, then let it rip. If you don't think Rudolph and Duck is the guy.
No, stop it. Rudolph and Duck Hodges ain't the guy.
Okay.
We both know this. That ship has sailed.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not the GM of Pittsburgh. I mean of Doodlesburg.
But we pretend. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but yeah, that ship has sailed. I believe that ship is gone. Duck ain't the guy, and neither is Rudolph. I just don't believe they're the guy. Maybe you bring in extra people, but why would you do that when you could get Cam Newton? I mean, I don't think Cam has a lot of years in this league if he can stay healthy. That's his issue. But maybe you go get. There's plenty of guys. I think this dude. I've been watching his film. I think I hopped on the XFL a little bit too late, obviously, because they ain't playing right now. But this Ta'amu, I think his name is pronounced Ta'amu, but I could be wrong. The Chiefs just signed him to a 1-year deal, I think.
Yeah, Jordan.
To be the backup.
And Carolina signed PJ Walker from the Houston XFL. I told you the XFL is the greatest football league of all time, baby, but y'all didn't want to believe me.
I ain't saying all that, but what I am saying is I like the product is not bad. Okay, the product that they put on the field ain't bad. It's actually not bad at all.
You finally decided to look at it.
I like it. Okay, all right. I had nothing else to do. The product that they put on the field is not bad. But the things that they do in the XFL, I believe, help out the NFL. So even and the players especially. And so this is the most movement we've ever seen from quarterbacks. I want to say from franchise quarterbacks ever. I want to say ever. So I think the Steelers do have options. I just don't know why they want to hold on to Ben. I mean, I know he got them to a Super Bowl. I know Big Ben did not get you to a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Big Ben didn't get him to the Super Bowl. When they went to the Super Bowl, they had defense. And that was when James Harrison ran that. and a running game. That's when James Harrison ran that 100-yard fumble back all the way back for a touchdown. Big Ben, he was making plays. He was good, but he was not no Big Ben. He was just Ben Roethlisberger from Miami, Ohio. That's all that was. Um, so I don't believe Big Ben was, or as you like to call him, Benji, was the reason or the X factor in any way for any of their Super Bowl wins, which, by the by, this is not a shot at Rob. Y'all think it is? Take it as you want to. Um, it's not a shot at Rob, but
It's a shot.
let's be real. They ain't won nothing since 2009. Okay, they ain't been to the Super Bowl since 2009. Let's be honest with ourselves. And how long has Benji been in the league? He been in the league for a long time. His best year was 2018. Um, his best year was
And they
2018,
still didn't
where
make
he
the
had the
playoffs.
most yards, and they didn't even make the playoffs. Come on now,
Jameis
that
Winston.
that has to say something. Ooh, I wasn't gonna go there, but
Did
dang, dang,
Jameis Winston lead the league in yards last year?
he led the league in yards. Yes,
All
he
right.
did. He did. Wow.
That's all.
So Ben's not the X factor. Ben's not the X factor here. The Steelers need to go back to what they were doing with
They they
the
they a
defense
pound
and
the
the
ball
running
first
game, in
kind
my
of
opinion.
team.
I agree.
They run the ball very well, and when they start running the ball very well again, you can open up the play action for Ben and get Juju open.
I believe that.
Juju is not a number one.
I believe that they. I agree with that. That was what I was gonna say. Juju ain't the number one that everybody hoped he would be. He's definitely not no as explosive as Antonio Brown, and I don't think many people will be because Antonio, before he went off the rails, was amazing. Okay, but Juju's good, but he's not a
But
number one.
if they start running the ball more, I think his name Connor, right? James Connor.
Yeah, James
If
Conner.
he's go back to having that good season, but I know he was a little bit injured last year. But if they start running the ball
Yeah,
more,
he is.
then doing a play action, Juju can be a good number one. Not a great number one, but a good number one.
Here's my thing. There's too many people. There's too many dynamic wide receivers in this draft. Go get you a dynamic wide receiver. Juju ain't that dynamic right now. He was dynamic when he had a number one in front of him, but I think maybe in the second round they could find a guy. They might be able to find a guy that drops uh
Trade up.
into the second round for them. No, no, you can't always trade up. You don't want to lose so much draft capital because they are trying to rebuild a defense with the kid that they got from Michigan last year, plus Minka Fitzpatrick. I see where they're going. They're trying to build a team around Ben or the quarterback like they used to do. They're trying to get the defense right. They're trying to get the
I
running
think their
game
defense
right.
top 10.
But
They decent.
yeah,
Their defense is legit decent.
I agree with that. Okay, let's put it like this: not top 10, top 15.
You cut it how you want them to. If their offense was a little bit better, and actually, honestly, I think they would have been worse off with Ben starting last year than what they did with uh, the other two. But here's the thing.
What other two?
Hodges and Rudolph. I think Big Ben would have had a worse season.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think the Steelers as a team would have had a worse season with Ben. Cause Ben, at least Duck and I'm about to say Duck and Hodges, which is the same person. Duck and Rudolph, at least they threw the ball away. Ben would have took the sacks.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you, but I understand where you're
Nah,
going.
you agree with me. You just don't want to admit it.
No, I don't agree. I don't know if I agree with you, but I get where you're
So let
going
me
with
ask you
this.
this. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off the record right quick, off the ropes or whatever. This
Off the,
wasn't even.
Off the
whatever.
rails, yeah.
You Americans, you know how y'all think. But anyway,
Okay.
this wasn't even what I wanted to talk about, but I want to talk about it since you brought up quarterbacks. Like, it's no doubt
Uh-oh.
Mahomes is going to be the LeBron James of football, right? If if he
I
stay
can
healthy,
agree with
he gonna
that.
be LeBron James of football. Taking meaning most likely he gonna break all the records if he stay on pace what he
Mm,
did his first two full seasons as a starter.
I agree with that.
Will
I mean, if he continues that, those just the numbers.
will because we generalize as people as fans of the game. We look at sometimes we look at records, and we honor Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Benji records because a lot of times they were still in a running game. They run the ball 30, 40 times a game and still put up them numbers. And with this new era in football where it's number passing, 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 you know, or is it easy to just call Mahomes the GOAT if he passed all the passing records or if Russell start passing all the records or some other guy that come in the league start passing all the records? Is it easy for us to say they was better than say a Dan Marino or something?
Yeah. I mean, let's say the rules get bent. I mean, the NFL is trying to make a more friendly product on the field, obviously. So we're playing in a less physical era than it was in the past. But as we go along, it's going to keep getting safer and say they're going to try to keep legislating savage the savagery out of the game. They're trying to lessen the hits. They're trying to lessen the concussions. They're trying to lessen a lot of things, which in turn lends itself to giving more offense, which leads to a better product on the field because people like seeing touchdowns and like seeing offense more than they like seeing defense. Anyway, yes, it's a little bit easier. I can agree that it's going to be a little bit easier for Mahomes to break these records because you see the numbers go up all the time. They do all the time. In Dan Marino's era, he was putting up unprecedented numbers for his era. But now we look at a game that's bent towards the offense, and now we're looking at Ben, who did the same thing. Ben, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew
Aaron Rodgers for
Brees,
a little bit.
all those guys. Aaron Rodgers. Uh, but now we're moving towards an era that's going to break their era. That's just the natural progression of life.
Uh,
It really is. I mean, that's really all I can say. That.
and everybody's not like me because honestly, you know me for real. I really don't say I really don't
Yeah,
say people is the greatest of all time. And then when I do, I'm usually just trolling because I know the person I say is basically one of my favorites. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
But that
absolutely.
private conversation, I'd be like, to me, I just enjoy everybody greatness. I really don't
Right.
compare nothing
And, I mean,
unless I'm really trolling. But
and that's what I agree with you. And if we take a step back and look at greatness as a gene or as a spectacle, then you can appreciate stuff. Like I did not like Tom Brady for like the first, I think about till 2009. I didn't believe that he was the guy because the first 3 years it was all about the defense, in my opinion. Then he started coming along and being more of a field general, and he started, directing and throwing the ball. But eventually, I had to come to the conclusion. But just look at the guy play. He's doing better. He's being the field general. You know, I just appreciated it for what it was, and what it was he was doing really, really good. That's all. Just appreciate it. just appreciate
All
greatness.
right. I see we're on the 31-minute mark on my cellular device. Uh, let me
Yes,
let me
sir.
ask you this. We're gonna play a little game. It's called "Where Do You See Them Fit?" You ready? Jadavian
Yes.
Clowney. Where do you see him fit?
Um, I looked at it, and some of these I did not get an answer to, but I do see maybe for a good number, Washington possibly. They got lots of cap space. They need they need help with rushing the passer, and they had, like I said, they had a cap space, and what's his face? Their coach is a
Ron
defensive
Rivera.
guy, so I think Ron Rivera is a defensive guy. So I believe Washington, or I believe DaCosta up in Baltimore is willing to run it towards him and give him close to what he wants, because I think they have a little cap space, and build up that defense because they really think they have a window here, similar to what the Chiefs did. They think they have a window, and they're going to try to rush that defense. So I think Baltimore or
Let me ask
Washington.
you this. It's a part two to this question right here. Uh, is Seattle making a mistake since they traded for him last season and they just use him for this season? Like, in my opinion, the NFC is pretty wide open. And I forgot what Seattle gave up for him. Did they give up too much for him for just a 1 year try?
They didn't give up a first round because Bill O'Brien's an idiot, but I don't think I'll get much issue from. I don't think I'll get much flack from you for that.
Nope.
But I don't. I don't think they gave up a first rounder. I think they might have given up a second rounder, which they ended up getting back in some way. Um, I think they're good, man. I think they did what they wanted from them, and they saw what they wanted to see, and that's it. That was all they needed. I don't think Jadavion Clowney. I think he's good, but I think he wants 18, 19 million because he's a guy that can set the edge and stop the run. But I don't think at the level that he's doing it at, I don't think teams think he's worth that 18, 19 million that he thinks he's worth. So I heard that he dropped his asking price down to like 17 to 16 million. So I don't know.
Let me ask you, Jameis Winston. Oh,
I have
hold
no
on.
earthly.
I'm sorry, Jameis. I still shrimp Winston.
I have no earthly idea. I have no clue. Because the thing about it is, his style is, I think I can do it, so I'm going to do it no matter what. And I don't know who wants that on their team, but somebody's going to take a shot at him. But I don't think it's for a starting position. I think he'll start up as a backup and he'll have to win that spot. But and my only thought comes as Washington, but I kind of left that one blank. I don't think Ron Rivera wants a guy that makes all those mistakes, and he doesn't really have a quarterback guru there to fix them or to help, limit those. So I don't know.
Uh, Cameron Newton.
I have no idea with him either, man. I have no idea. I think
If
maybe he should go.
if I'm
Go ahead.
Cameron Newton, I'll kind of beg my way to New England.
Yeah, that was my first thought was New England. I wouldn't beg my way, but I would campaign to go to New England. But I don't know, man. Cam is still a good quarterback, and I believe he's better than most. and but a lot of it's a quarterback heavy draft. We got a lot of quarterbacks coming out in this draft, so that's hurting his stock, especially for his asking price. Um, because I'm sure he's not going to want anything less than 20 million. I mean, 25 million per year.
But
So
but at the same
average.
time, you know, he's still rehabbing that injured foot. So
Yep.
so he I think he'll get like 10 mil, 15 mil, maybe 20 mil.
I think he'll get more than that. Yeah, he'll get 20 something mil. But uh, I just thought of something. Maybe the Raiders.
Ooh, that's nice. Uh,
I think the Raiders before. I mean, some people were saying the Chargers, but I think they're going to go young. If it's not this year, it'll be next year. But I think the Raiders might take a look at Cam Newton
uh, let me ask you about.
for
Let
the
me ask
right
you about
price.
uh, Bersad Breland.
Bashad Breeland, I think he's gonna be in KC, man. I don't know. The there's waves of free agency, right? There's the first wave where everybody gets the big names get the big bucks. Then there's your second wave where the lower tier, the second tier names get the second tier bucks, and then the third tier where you just filling out your roster before the draft. I think he's fallen into that level now where it's like, he's not the first tier, he's not the second tier, so it's like, what do I do now? I better take this money. I think he'd be back in KC if they can get the money together. I think he'll be back in KC.
I think he's gonna be back on another friendly deal
I agree.
because young, all these
One
young
year.
guys coming out, and now you have a teacher back there in Teron Matthew. Uh, you know, so
Right.
you're in a good. You Chiefs are in
I
the
think
perfect spot, man.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
What do you think about your boy Prince Akapakamura?
Okay. Prince
However you say
Amukamara.
his name.
Dude's a year. I mean, he's older right now.
You used to love
And
that dude.
so um I still do. I still do. If I didn't believe Bashad Breeland was going to be with Kansas City, I would think he need to be in Kansas City. I'm gonna be. That's me. I believe that. I believe because he used to play for the New York Giants, and I love Prince Mukamara, and they were. He used to be with the Giants. Now he last season he was with the Bears, I think, and played across from.
The other color.
Oh, come on, man.
Uh,
Yeah, the other Kyle Fuller. Um, and he's all right. He's all right. But dude came out. He's 30 years old, so he's on the wrong side of the years to get paid. You know what I mean? So I don't know where he'll be. Maybe the Bears will want to keep him, but I think they're going to go cornerback I think they're going to go cornerback in the draft. So I don't know. Maybe Arizona. Maybe he's from. I know he's. I ain't gonna say he's from Arizona, but I know he went to high school in Arizona. So maybe he tries to go there for for a friendly deal.
yeah.
Who knows?
You got any text messages? Hey, you. Well, 816-654-6883 is the number. Again, the number is 816-654-6883. You. Once again, you's not answering. But anyway.
Hey, this is you. As y'all heard, this episode is obviously different from other episodes due to the social distancing. So, definitely had to get on here and read the text messages The intern wouldn't let me get away with not reading the text messages, but I guess it's only one. But the intern wouldn't just let me just live without reading this text message. So here we go. From Uncle Wayne. So Sammy is back with that new deal. Not sure I like that. Thought it was time for Sammy to go. I would expect Chris Jones to be traded for a nice draft pick. Big Ben needs to hang it up in Pittsburgh. Steelers are still going to suck, though. You heard it here first. That's Uncle Wayne. And you'll hear a lot of my thoughts during the podcast, or you have heard them already. I feel like I want to respond to this Big Ben situation because you know how I feel. But hey, it is what it is. Now, on to your voicemails. Don't forget to hit us up, 816-654-6883. Again, that's the number. Text, call, whenever you have a thought or a take that you want to put on the air. Thanks for listening.
The mic and you, this is the R. I know right now we're sort of still in lockdown due to the coronavirus mess that's going on. I believe it's the New England Patriots who's spreading all these germs with all that mess. They don't have nobody anymore. You know, Bill Belichick, he's not going to make a quarterback out of that bum he's got. Tom Brady took his cheating self down to Tampa. People is picking up players. You got a couple of Cincinnati Bengals fans that follow me on Twitter that's talking about Cincinnati's been doing stuff under the radar. When you got an owner like Mike Brown, who's just cheap as they come, you're not doing nothing. And you talk about Jabba the Hutt, and let's going to be talking about the Steelers. We've been making moves here. As you see, we got Eric Ebron, got him signed. We got a guard that we got signed. So now we're going to go into that draft and get the best available player, which I assume to be should be a running back. The running back out of LSU or the running back out of Wisconsin at pick 49. And we got that consolation third round pick. We should do something there, get us a guard or a tackle. So I'm telling you now, Big Ben, with him being back, we don't need to go quarterback for at least 2 years. We go quarterback next year. Get the best available quarterback with our first round pick. Plus, we're going to have some compensation picks. We're going to trade a few of them and pick up to get the best available player, which will be Ben's replacement. Because I'll tell you guys right now, it ain't on the team. So, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. This is the R. I'm signing out. I'm ready for some type of football action because we ain't got nothing. I'm tired of watching the old games. And last night they had Booger McFarland on there with the Chiefs and Rams old game. Booger, if you're on anybody's sideline, please let us know so we don't watch. This is the R. I'm out. Still a nation. We're back. We rise together.
What up? It's your boy Jabba Juice, Jabba Trump, Jabba Ranks, all the good Jabbas. Oh, Championship Jabba, Chef Boyard Jabba, you know, might be seeing me throw down on my smoke. But that's beside the point. No sports thing sucks. Starting to get old, but I understand the situation. It is what it is. We'll get back to normalcy at some point. Tom Brady's still a bitch. Patriots still suck. The Oilers, Steelers still bum as shit. They suck. Big Ben looks terrible. They do something. He looking like a mop. The gopher, man. But hopefully everybody's still staying healthy, doing all right. Up here in the Joetown, finally got some confirmed cases. I think it's been here a while longer than the confirmed cases, but who knows? Hopefully this all blows over soon. You take care, Mikey. Joppy says you're still goofy, but you're my dude, you're my boy. But everyone stay safe, stay healthy, wash them hands. And as always, Chase, Jabba Juice out. Peace.
Yo, it's Duck. Sluts love Duck. Wow, my name on Twitter is something else now. But Y'all know me as Let's Love Duck, but I think it's like Duck is back or something like that now. Anyway, I really ain't got too much to say about sports, you know, since all sports is just dumb. I mean, I hope some of them are working out at home at least, so when seasons start back up, they can still kind of be in a little shape and got some energy. Cause if not, man, it's gonna be like a bummy season. It's gonna be like watching middle school football and basketball and baseball. If they ain't really probably taking care of themselves. I know I wouldn't be. I'd be drinking and shit. Can't do shit else. But, I just wish the Chiefs fans would shut the fuck up about their little funky ass fucking championship. Shit. You know, I'm trying to call Patrick Mahomes a GOAT and a legend. Like, the nigga won one Super Bowl. He got plenty more years to go before he even become a GOAT or a legend. You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, you know, I hope everybody's just staying safe and protecting themselves. I mean, some of this stuff is just, to me, daily things you do. You wash your hands and stuff. You don't touch certain shit. It's too germy, just period. And, you know, people acting like, oh, I just got to start washing my hands. Like, what the fuck? What you been doing? But, yeah, that's all I got for you. Y'all be cool. Stay easy.
What's going on? This is Swoop, @Swoop21 on Twitter. Out here working, so I decided to give a call and fill in a little bit. I don't necessarily know where y'all been at. However, so I'm just give a quick rundown on my opinion. As much as I haven't liked Tom Brady since they cheated the Raiders, I'm pretty proud of him and what he's going to be doing with Tampa. I feel like it's going to be a good match. I think they could do a little bit better. Well, I think they're going to need more of a running game. I haven't paid too much attention to it. I think the Melvin Gordon thing going to the Broncos was something desperate on both ends. We know Melvin wanted some more money, of course. I think the Broncos got a little bit more they need to tune up. I think Todd Gurley going to Atlanta is going to be a good thing, as long as they can keep everything running on all cylinders. Also, Phillip Rivers, I think that's going to be really dynamic. I think it's come a little bit late, though. I don't think people don't really have no faith in Indianapolis without Andrew Luck, but we know Phillip Rivers has a lot of NFL intelligence, so I think that can really turn them around and give a little bit of shot. I hope Odell Beckham Jr. can end up with the 49ers. I think that'd be a real, well, I think they need another receiver that they can also kind of depend on the outside. Because of course we know in this league now you need more than just one star receiver and a tight end. I really don't have no faith in Garoppolo either, though. So I think it could be a good fit, even if Odell did go. But I think they'll need another receiver also. What else we got? Stephon Diggs. I think that was horrible. I think that was another desperate move. I think Stephon's overrated by a lot. You know, after he had that, what is it, Minnesota Miracle, whatever they want to call it, I called it right there, and I said, this dude's gonna want all this money, and he's really only an average player in my eyes. I don't know if I'm not seeing something other people are seeing, but I mean, it's on any given Sunday. We know you're in the NFL, so anybody can have a big play or have a good play. I think he's running his license to the ground. I don't think Buffalo's going to be able to do anything with him. I think he's going to be like Deshaun Jackson when he left Philly and went to Tampa. He's going to end up back in Minnesota, in my opinion, because you're going to feel like you don't have no love nowhere else. I can't think of what else is going on in the league. There's a lot going on in the league.
Yo, this is Big Fish 205 representing Niner Nation. Yeah, I said it, Niner Nation. Hey, I got two takes. My first take is congratulations, Alden Smith. Always been a fan of Alden Smith. Got a chance to see him play in high school at Raytown, and then got a chance to see him go to the next level. So, hey, hope he takes advantage of this opportunity, because Dallas signed him, and we all know what's up. It's Jerry Jones again, trying to beat Daddy Jerry, taking care of his son. So, hopefully he'll take care of Alden Smith, the youngest son right now, because he sure ain't taking care of the oldest son, Dak Prescott. So congrats, Alden. You and a new family. You got a fresh slate. Hopefully you take advantage of it. My other take is Tua, quarterback out of Alabama. Tua, you probably going to be the best lefty we've seen since Byron Leftwich. You don't have to sell yourself and rush to recovery and keep talking about how you're 100%. You ain't been hit yet. You ain't done no NFL drills yet. Calm down. The stakes are still high for you. You're gonna go big time. That's my take. Big Fish 205 Niner Nation out.
This is Rizzy from KC, and I'm here to give my take on the New Orleans Saints, and here's why I think the New Orleans Saints is probably going to be in the Super Bowl next year. We've been snubbed from the NFC Championship 3 years in a row by either the refs or bad play calling from both sides of the field that have caused us to fall short, but by just one player, one little mistake. So we got that fire and drive to come out next season and really give it all we got. Another thing is Drew Brees returned, and we got a lot of returners on the field for us. As we still got that team chemistry to go down, and everybody there know what it's like to be snubbed out of the playoffs, or out of the NFC Championship rather. So we really do got that drive for that as well, and that chemistry, as well as we have another receiver coming in, Emmanuel Sanders, to complement Michael Thomas on that other side. So Drew Brees also has new passing routes and players to give it to, and he's a really good player to add to the team as well, as we keep Taysom Hill and we keep all of our defensive forces. So thanks for listening to that, and I hope to hear this on the podcast. See ya. Saints in Super Bowl.
This is Double A from Kansas City, representing Chiefs Kingdom. Today I'll be kind of talking about how the Chiefs aren't really looking too good right now financially. They, I believe, currently have $177 under cap space, and they're definitely going to have to make some cuts in order to get some valuable pieces to sort of do a repeat from last year. Personally, I would say start with Sammy Watkins. He's already, well, rumors say that he's already looking at some other places to go, as well as not really looking to come back to the Chiefs. He is a very good receiver, and I know they're paying him quite a lot. So if they get rid of him, I'm sure they will get money to give some other people some contracts. Personally, I think that we need a running back. No offense against Darian Williams. He did his thing in the Super Bowl. I just think we need kind of somebody with more experience that can train him as well, so they can both be dogs in the backfield. With the addition of a running back, we also need a couple of key components on defense. And if we get those things, I think we can definitely go back for the Super Bowl, and even more to come. It's time we start a dynasty here in Kansas City, and I'm all for that. Thank you. This is Double A, and I'm out.
Happy Friday, the Mike and You podcast. Bob C. the Packer fan calling in. Better late than never, I hope. 2 minutes is all I got. Okay, topics. The new collective bargaining agreement in the NFL. Don't know if you guys covered this last week. Basically, the players agreed to play one extra game, and what they got was no drug testing. Really? And expanded the playoffs from 12 teams to 14 teams. I just want to let the NFL know that the team I got from all the kids down the street will be 9-9 next year and should make the playoffs. Mike gave me a huge list. Couple of things really quick. Brady to Tampa Bay. Ooh, I think that was a good move. Look for Tampa Bay to make the playoffs. Of course, we could make the playoffs too. Big Ben still in Pittsburgh. What does Pittsburgh have as an alternative to Big Ben? They are a team that should be moving up in the draft and grabbing a quarterback. The Packers need, good gracious, they need a lot. I'd like to see a tight end in the first round, a couple of wide receivers, and help at inside linebacker. Losing Martinez hurts a lot. Losing Balaga, the tackle hurts, so offensive line. So probably just like every team in the league, I want to see wide receivers, inside linebackers, and a line. Mike asked me about the Packers' all-time team. I had to go way back in the memory machine for that. Quarterback Brett Favre, wide receivers Max McGee, check out his Super Bowl catch. Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams. Running backs, way old school again, Jim Taylor, Paul Horney. He asked me about Packer tight end, all-time tight end. I can't even come up with one off the top of my list. Getting tired of working remote. Really getting tired of being stuck in the house. You guys have a great show. I'll listen later. See ya.